here, and then I'll go through the answers. Right? So here are the instructions. It says items 1 to 7 constitute section A of this paper. They're based on an extract which I will read to you. Oh my god, this thing just went off. Hold on. Yes. You will be given 2 minutes to look at the items before you listen to the extract. Then I will read the extract to you twice. You're required to listen carefully to the extract before answering the items. You may make notes while you listen to the reading. You must not begin to answer the items until you are told to do so. You're required to respond to the items on your answer sheet by selecting the correct option from the 4 options lettered A to D. Now look at the items for 2 minutes. Pause the video, look at the items, don't go over the 2 minutes, it's only for your benefit, right? Alright, since you've done that, now listen carefully while I read this extract twice. Remember, you may make notes as I read. It was a time of the petit carême now, and in this pause, this summer's breath in the midst of wet weather, the forest bees came quick in the blue sunshine to new blossoms, and fresh feathered birds flittered with song and love calls from boughs to the wild flowers. In cocoa fields, the guardian immortals were in sporadic bloom, and farmers were busy picking the little harvest of cocoa which they hoped to dry before the rains commenced again. Kumaka was beautiful at this time of the year, with yellow unclung leaves drifting in the wind, huis spotting the hillsides with fistfuls of gold, and parrots squawking like matriarchal fishwives crossing low over the forest where somersaulting monkeys howled in dark voices. In the village, all the talk was of the road which was to come through from Valencia. Okay, I'm going to read it again. It was a time of the petit carême now, and in this pause, this summer's breath in the midst of wet weather, the forest bees came quick in blue sunshine to new blossoms, and fresh feathered birds flittered with song and love calls from boughs to the wild flowers. In cocoa fields, the guardian immortals were in sporadic bloom, and farmers were busy picking the little harvest of cocoa which they hoped to dry before the rains commenced again. Kumaka was beautiful at this time of the year, with yellow unclung leaves drifting in the wind, huis spotting the hillside with fistfuls of gold, and parrots squawking like matriarchal fishwives, crossing low over the forest where somersaulting monkeys howled in dark voices. In the village, all the talk was of the road which was to come through from Valencia. Okay, so pause the video, look at the items and choose your answers. Okay, since you've done that, now we're going to go through the questions. Now, question 1 says the main idea of the extract that is that during Petit Carême in Kumaka, A. The village was beautiful. B. Agricultural activities flourished. C. Villagers spoke of current affairs. Or D. Nature came alive with color and sound. Now the answer is D. Nature came alive with color and sound. It is seen where they describe how the flowers look as well as how the animals reacted to the season. Alright, so number 2, it asks us which of the following details does not, and please pay attention to the NOT, not support the main idea of the passage. Now, based on what we had said before, that the main idea is that in Kumaka during the season, nature came alive with color and sound. Which one of these um, phrases from the extract doesn't really or does not support the main idea? Now, A says picking the little harvest of cocoa. somersaulting monkeys holding dark voices, and that's B. Who is spotting the hillside with fistfuls of gold, and D. The forest bees came quick in blue sunshine to new blossoms. The answer is A. Picking the little harvest of cocoa. This is because the other responses makes mention to color and sound. Where you have somersaulting monkeys, hold, sound is right there. Spotting the hillsides with fistfuls of gold, gold, color mentioned right there. And the forest bees came in blue sunshine to new blossoms, and blue sunshine, that's color right there. All appeals to imagery. Number 3, imagery and yeah. Number 3, according to the extract, petit carême refers to the A. Time of harvest, time that flowers bloom, C. Dry spell during the rainy season, or D. Time when animals are most vocal. Now the answer is C. Dry spell during the rainy season. And if you research the word petite crème, you'll see where the association of a hot dry spell in September into October, right? And it's French Creole or patois, French patois, I think. Check it. And number 4, the phrase "fresh feathered birds flittered with song" is an example of A. Simile, B. Alliteration, C. Onomatopoeia, or D. Personification. Now it couldn't be a simile because there isn't any comparison there, and you usually spot that with the words like or as, right? You can see where it's an alliteration because there's a repetition of the F sound from fresh, feathered, and flitted, right? So, or is it flighted? No, it's flitted. Fresh feathered birds flitted with song. Onomatopoeia isn't there because there isn't any reference to sound, and personification is not there because we're not seeing where any inanimate object or any inanimate object is given human-like qualities. And if you even look closer, there are no inanimate objects in the phrase. Wait, is song an inanimate object? I'm not sure. Check that as well. Number 5 says the expression "the guardian immortals were in sporadic bloom" suggests that A. Some of the trees were in bloom, B. The trees bloomed all year round, C. The trees had never bloomed before, and D. Some trees bloomed only at this time of the year. And the key word there is sporadic. Sporadic means occasionally or infrequent, right? So the answer is D, where we see that some trees bloomed only at this time of the year. Number 6. Now the phrase parrots squawking like a matriarchal fishwives is an example of which pair of literary devices? Where we see like, we can see where there's a comparison. So we can eliminate A and D and say the answer is either B or C, where simile is involved. Now we have to decide between whether it's an whether onomatopoeia is in it or personification, right? So why wouldn't we use personification? Said before, for the previous question, it isn't seen where an inanimate object is given human-like qualities. But squawking is referring to a sound. Therefore, the answer is B, simile and onomatopoeia. Now, number 7, that's the last item. Which of the following is the most appropriate comment on the effectiveness of the phrase spotting the hillside with fistfuls of gold. Now A says, the phrase reflects the extent to which the flowers were covering the hillside during Petit Carême. B. The phrase shows that the flowers on the hillsides were bright yellow and tightly bunched together during Petit Carême. C. The phrase helps the reader to appreciate that the flowers were rich and easy to get a hold of during Petit Carême. And D. The writer allows the reader to visualize how the bunched, rich, bright yellow flowers covered the landscape during Petit Carême as compared to other times. Now, when questioning the effectiveness of this phrase, we have to look at how to find the most appropriate answer, we have to look at how it impacts the audience or the readers, as well as how how if it's relevant as it relates to the phrase given, right? So A wouldn't be the most suitable because it says the phrase reflects the extent to which the flowers were covering the hillside during Petit Carême. It doesn't tell us the impact the phrase has on the reader, right? And it's the same for B, where it says the phrase shows that the flowers on the hillside were bright yellow and tightly bunched together during Petit Carême. C, on the other hand, tells us how it impacts the readers, right? It tells us that the phrase helps the readers to appreciate that flowers were rich and easy to get a hold of during Petit Carême. Now, even though it tells us the impact it has on the readers, it doesn't really tell us anything about the phrase that was stated above. Now, D is most suitable because it says the writer allows the readers to visualize how the bunched, rich, bright yellow flowers covered the landscape during Petit Carême as compared to other times, right? So it tells us the layout because that's the first one is basically telling us the layout, and it tells us how it impacts readers, and that's why it's the most suitable answer. So when doing multiple choice, even though they're close, you look for the most suitable answer.